There he is, Michael, sweetheart. Part number 2 with Michael, Markham, and Klaus. Michael, sweetheart, where did I interrupt you? This was like with the how bodies are communicating, like the way they dance. You're muted, sweetheart. Unmute, please, yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you didn't interrupt me. It's sometimes in some dances the woman takes the initiative and leads. That's the dance, and I always see it that way. Um, this we can't see what the human interaction is like because we are it. That's the reason we can't see ourselves because we are it. Uh, like I mentioned earlier, through others, we get a glimpse how lovely it is to be human. I can look at a toddler and see the freshness of a toddler or baby, sweet, wet kisses from a baby, the smell of a baby's head. Um, but I am alone in this world. What people fear the most is this aloneness. We are longing, life's longing. Life itself is longing. Um, it'll never be satiated, never be filled. Um, without it, we would lose ourselves. The idea that something's missing is innate in the human nature. Um, the brain here has embraced that, and it sees it in other people, and my heart aches for them because they're looking for happiness or love or safety or wealth, all of which only exist as ideas. They'll never find them because they're ideas. Something in the brain can embrace its humanness, its raw, naked humanness, all of its urges, all of its angers, its lust, its everything. The joy of being human doesn't last that long. Doesn't last long at all. But while we're here, to marvel at our own hands. Look at this symphony of movement, so easy. How the smile washes all over Rosa's face and radiates the room. Klaus's smile. God, they're so beautiful. Humans are so beautiful. And I'm human. So I must be beautiful too. It's really self-love. It's really the brain loving, simply being.
Michael, beautiful. I love the energy you're expressing there, whatever this means.
Mm,
For me, this could be the same expression, but there is no need to put the brain in between.
I know, I know, I know.
This
Uh,
booming, oh yeah,
I
symphony of
know.
perception. There is
Yeah.
simply no need to go with the brain to you
Mhm.
know. But yeah, it's beautiful how you put it. Like yeah, why not? Why not?
It seems to me the most logical Occam razor is reduced to the most logical conclusion. Um, I can see electricity being generated from a generator, and the source of the electricity is not really the generator, it's everything else in the universe. So
Mm.
in that sense, I can feel what you're saying. It's not the brain
But
because the
here it's always here with me plays always out. I really don't know anything, but it's like very simple. It's very obvious that it's simple.
hmm,
And simple implies already for me there is no need to make up stories. It's obvious. you know.
Yeah.
But I'm totally in love with all the stories. So don't
Mm,
get me wrong, sweetheart.
no,
I
no.
love, no matter which perspective you put, if it's the brain or I don't know what, I just love it. But it's always the same. It's
Mm.
always the same, you know, and this is
Yeah.
like stunning. Yeah.
I can see that. No, I'm relating more and more to that as no separate objects, and therefore negates the reality of the brain in that sense, but that's just a label. Um, I see, I had a stroke and I lost the vision up here, but I could have easily lost the left side of my body or vision entirely. I could lose my memory from a stroke. Uh, they can probe the brain with little electrical impulses and memories will come up. Memories are scattered throughout the brain. They don't know what memory is. And again, that's just a label. But the memory of being in the fourth grade with Mrs. Winters and Danny Perko sitting behind you, uh,
Sweetheart.
those are memories all stored in this.
And I'm in love with those stories. This is so magical to have them. Yeah.
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 So memories are stored in the brain, and the sense of self is nothing but memories, self-referential data points. So I see the locus of the humanity existing in these beautiful brains.
Yeah.
Again,
Michael, let me interrupt you. What are you without past and without future?
those are just ideas, Rose. They
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, but nevertheless, just playing with these ideas.
Oh, I can't because they're just ideas. I need other ideas to explain them.
Yeah, go, sweetheart.
Well, I have to go through my storehouse of ideas to come up with something to explain those ideas. It's like in comparing, it's like stacking shadows. There's nothing there in ideas. We can't get a hold of anything. It's fluid, and even that's an idea. We'll never understand our condition, most of all because we don't have one. And no one ever has or ever will. No one knows more than this about you. No one knows more about this than Klaus. Nothing can be known about our condition. All we have is labels.
Hmm.
Uh, that, when that dawns, the world can change into a vast unknown unknowableness, um, free, fearlessness. What have you got to lose? Um, you never had anything.
Hmm.
Uh, I have a post where a man pushes everything to the center. He puts it all in. And this is putting it all in every moment.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
When I
This is
go
the
out,
boom. This is the boom, Michael. This is the
the boom.
boom.
This is the
This
boom.
is the immediacy of what is.
Yeah.
No escape. No escape.
Okay. Yeah. It's
I love
traveling the
it.
speed of sound, and that boom is constant. The boom precedes you when you exceed the speed of sound. An airplane, the boom is out in front of it. And your boom, this boom is always pushing into the world. And how beautiful that little bird's out playing in the oak trees now, or not playing. He's trying to eat something. But I see he's beautiful. Plit, 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 plit. Um, oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I see Klaus as a strong young male, vibrant, full of vitality, um, warrior, uh, somebody you want on your side. I see Rosa as this embodiment of femininity. And your female's world is different than male's world, as you're probably aware. Um, oh, I grew up with violent men, a violent alcoholic father, and everyone was heavy drinker in my childhood. So I never trusted men, and I miss so much. I trust men now. I love men. Uh, when you don't trust men and you're in a man's body, life can get confusing.
Mm.
Uh, now I just fall in love with everybody. I told a story several times in these meetings about an old cowboy I saw in an old pickup, and he had that old cowboy hat on, and I knocked on his window. He's parked next to me, and I tapped on his window. He rolled his window down. I said, "Are you going to give up that hat without a fight?" He's he said, "What?" I said, "I want that hat. Are you going to put up a fight if I take it?" He said, "Hell yes, I will." I said, "Well, get out of the truck then, because..." So he gets out of the truck and we square off like men do. It's a posturing. It's, you put your shoulders forward and assume the posture. And then we both started laughing. And it was so much fun. I said, "I grew up as a cowboy." He said, "You did?" "Yeah, where at?" And I said, "Wyoming." He said, "Really?" And so he said, "I've got 400 head over here." I just fell in love with him, and I still have him in my heart.
Yeah.
You are inside of me now, both of you. Um, and that image will build over the times that I come across, or our paths cross, or weaving.
Michael, oh, let me interrupt you because you're beautifully fluently talking without stop, which I love. So I have to interrupt you. First of
Okay.
all, it's funny that you mentioned cowboy. I am
Yeah.
in love with cowboys, but not in the sense like, I simply maybe I just a story, like all everything we are saying. It's my parents used to watch when I was a kid, and I was always keen on not going to bed, but staying there and watching TV with them. And they had not that selection, but they were watching cowboy movies. Like, and my father was reading Jack London, stuff like this. So I grew up in a way, innocently so, with cowboys, and I don't know. And this was it. I loved it. I love the landscape, the mountains, also
Ah,
the roughness, the toughness. And this
yeah.
was for me like, and this never went. It's still like
Uh,
on the last Zoom meeting, I put my cowboy hat on, because it
that's
was just simply, yeah, Jeannie inspired me by this. I saw her. And first of all, this is funny that you're mentioning this. And the second thing which you said, like, you are in me. Um,
mm,
this feeling went. It was like this when I was into this awareness thing. Yeah, I was very much into awareness, that it felt the same. You are in me, and and now the simply is not playing. There is no more sense of in and out.
no, I know what you mean.
It's just there, full
Yeah.
on. So you're there, full on, and the
Yeah.
full on character booming. Every person, everything I can sense, feel. It's automatic playing out. I'm not doing anything for this. It's just like the melting
Yeah.
automatically with the character, more or less, just to put it
Yeah.
into a word. And this is not happening in, out,
Mm,
somewhere. It's just like, well, not separate. It's just this. In the directness of what is. It's just this.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I can see what you're saying. To me, that appears to all happen within the brain, but who knows? We don't know anything really. Um,
But it's just how you express this. So beautiful. Yeah. Klaus, how would you express this?
Yeah, I totally agree with what you say, Rosa, because what you say is exactly the description of what is happening here. The only difference, if we can talk about differences, is that here there is the belief, it's just an assumption, nothing given for granted. It's just an assumption that all that is appearing now is made by the brain. So the difference is very thin. There is an appearance. This appearance is for no one. Then there is the belief that this appearance is made by the brain, but there is no proof because we don't know definitely. So it could be made by nothing. It could be self-sustaining, or it could be made by Shiva or Brahman or awareness or consciousness or the brain, but these are all assumptions. Because if you want to be careful and detailed and accurate, we could say there is only appearances, as we said before, thoughts, emotions, sensations, memories, sense of being here, sense of an eye, then the room, the windows, the door, furnitures, whatever. And of course, if there is a sense of a me doing the witness, that is also among the appearances. Then there can be the thought, oh, all these appearances are made by the brain, but it's just a thought.
Yeah.
It's an assumption.
It's just another thought.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
Yeah.
It's here our perspective is illusory. It's objectification, an overlay. And there's no escape for us out of that. We cannot think beyond our objectification of the world. There's no way. There's no way we can think of anything unless it has a name. People say, well, I have emotions that don't have a name. And I always say, well, can you name one? And of course they can't. There's a feeling that we can have an emotion beyond naming, but we can't. That's our wall. Nisargadatta speaks of a black solid wall beyond which we cannot go. That's our language. Now you each have at least two languages. So you live in two worlds. Some of your words will not translate into English, and you'll say, because there's no word for that. And that must be frustrating.
No. This is Michael,
Yes,
this is
it is.
playing with it. It's here. Klaus, you know what I mean, because we are with the languages. It's beautiful. I have three, not only two, but it just for the sake of being able to compare more. So this is so beautiful to see that now I cannot talk Bulgarian with Klaus and Michael. And when now the next word is the perfect match, it will pop up in Bulgaria first. And I know this is exactly what I want to say. This is now exactly what I want to say. For example, like Nemi puka. Nemi puka. So you're not going to get it. But at the same time, without saying this is just quickly, it just seems to be gone. And I love it. How this beautiful, perfect match is flying away. And then I simply take another one, which both of you are going to understand, which is not so booming, but there is always the perfection scene here, no matter what. There is not like, oh no, why couldn't I have to, no, it's perfectly, whoa, it was the joy to let it fly and to hear the other thing, which is like, who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
But it's not Nemi puka.
But no, I wish I could know what that is.
In a way, who cares? But not this.
Don't wait there. See, now I'm frustrated. I want to know what it is. Oh my God. But that's what language does to us. It creates a world, an overlay that we mistake that the brain, or that is mistaken for reality. And that's the only reality we can ever know, assuming reality is just another word also. It's all words.
Yeah.
That's how I see that our only connection is words. I think Numikaba is a good example of that.
Nimipuka. Nimipuka.
Yeah, that thing that you said. See, I can't even say it. That's our separation. Bulgarian is foreign to me. I would never understand you. I would fall in love with your laughter, your radiant beauty.
And this is more than enough. You see? Because it is. This
This
is
is
enough, not
overflowing.
understanding any word, but just simply falling in love with the laughter, maybe with the voice. That's it.
No,
There is
no, I
no
want
need
more.
for more. This is
I want more.
this is always that there is no lack already. Never. Never, no matter what.
I would fall in love with you just hearing you speak Bulgarian, but I do that anyway. I just love humans. But
Me too, me too. It's the same.
this closeness when you talk, well, I wrote I put Bolero on. It's if you listen to the whole song,
I love
it
it.
gradually builds and builds and builds and builds, and at the end of this crescendo of bang, bang,
Boom,
that
bang.
little bang. It's kind of,
Bolero, Klaus, bolero.
yeah, it's living in the crescendo of life, surfing the ever emerging momentary, falling down through whatever happens. Um, a stiff neck, a wife saying something that you mistake for criticism. Um, all of it. You just take it all. It's a bring it on world.
It's
It's
perfection in action. It's perfection in action. This is so brutal, so beautiful. You know,
yeah.
even I well, how to put it? It was simply like in a way so beautiful a connection with someone. And I noticed because it was very intensive and I loved it. I love the intensity. With the connect, I love connecting with people. So and
Mm.
then and I'm very open. So, and I sensed that there is a subtle misunderstanding going on. I said also because of the, but here, interestingly, there was no drive to put it correctly. You know, I already sensed, and I just saw, wow, what a perfection. The misunderstanding is it already. And if I would love to get it clear, the content, I can go and ask. And there was just this laughter. No, who cares? Nimipuka.
Darn it. There's that word. Oh my God. That's a perfect example of what we're talking about. Um, yeah, we'll never be content. We didn't evolve to be happy. We evolved to look for happiness, and whatever that is, it's just a chemical reaction. But the joy of naked humanness. Essalon has clothing optional hot tubs, and everybody gets in the hot tub stark naked, and it's just bodies. And that's something, and we all have very few perfect bodies in the world. Uh, uh, and we're so protective. We're so isolated emotionally. We were walking through a large box store, Costco over here, and I told my wife, I said, everybody's smiling at me. She said, well, you're smiling. I said, I am.
I know it, yeah, sweetheart, yeah. And then it's like reflection. It's beautiful. I love it. Like how the people passing by, they even are greeting me. And I just, whoa, you know, because when you have the smile on and you're not noticing this, it just
Yeah.
immediately playing out, you know?
Yes. Yeah. I went to the doctor the other day and I have an appointment for a neurologist. I'm getting, I think, carpal tunnel. And I love my neurologist. And so I told her, I said, you know, I love Dr. Yamagata. I said, one day I told him I loved him. And he said, I love you too, Michael. And then I looked at her and I said, I love you. She said, oh, Michael. She said, I love you too. And that openness with each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I do love her. She
Yeah.
cares. She wants to help me. She went to school for so many years of hard schooling and internship and all the stuff they have to go through. I love her. And people don't tell that to their doctors. They don't tell them how much they appreciate them. I had a client who was in hospice who was ALS, and he told his doctor in San Francisco, far away from here, she was a world specialist, old woman, old doctor, and he told her that, Doctor, thank you so much for all your years of study, and thank you for helping me. And she started to cry. She said, oh, Fred, no one's ever told me thank you. And when he told me that, I started to cry. I thought, oh my God, a life devoted to helping people, and no one's ever said thank you.
Yeah, sweetheart, but you see, exactly this, like so innocently, openly playing out, saying, I love you, I thank you
I love you.
for the help. So, and then there is no need for the other so-called characters to
No.
perform the same way. This is
Mm.
brutal love. This is unconditionally already playing out. Even,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so this is the beauty in a way, you know? This
It
is,
is.
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right, because everything may arise. You know, I know that this idea that once you lost your sense of a me, there's a great love coming out unconditionally, you know. But in the end, everything may arise. You could be more like free talking. For instance, when I was 23, I told you previously, after the so-called call it shift or changement, there is not a proper word for it. But in any case, after this evaporating of the sense of a me, there was a less control on the talking. So I was talking freely without censorship, and so everything could come out, you know. And there was no control, and there was a lot of people, they were mad at me because I was not prepared
Yeah.
to this kind of behavior,
Yeah. The same
you
here,
know.
Klaus, the same here. And
Yeah,
since also the filters go, there is simply like booming out no matter of the consequences. So
yeah,
also, yeah, a lot of friends can simply be like hit on the head, you know, like, oh my gosh, yeah,
yeah, of course. You can be inappropriate for the situation,
yeah,
because if you lose the sense of an eye, you lose self-control. You don't know how to behave properly because there is no censorship inside of you. There is no sense of limitation, you know.
Beautiful, Klaus. There's simply this is happening automatically, of course. There is simply not anymore the protective mechanism. Oh, I should be careful here and not
Yeah,
say
that's
this.
it.
This may, of course, happen in the office, for example. Yeah, but this
Yeah,
is like naturally playing out. And but there is this carelessness, which is like so free, and it depends also on the character. Maybe Klaus, we are more extrovert, you know, and
yeah.
can, and other characters like exactly like also without caring, they're more introvert. They're simply, there is no need to express anything or to, you know, yeah.
Yeah, so in the end, there can be more love and compassion, as well as explosion of uncontrolled energy that brings you to do the most strange things, inappropriate things. You could go to jail easily, because in that precise moment, there is no censorship inside. I'm talking about this experience, of course. I'm not talking in general, but I just want to say that everything may arise. In some cases, it can be more love and compassion and openness. In other cases, it can be just the loss of control. But in any case, it's already this, it's already what appears. It's an appearance, it's for nobody, and there's no control over it because there's no one inside here to control anything.
Like always, like always.
Yeah, like always.
It was never not this. Michael, sweetheart, what do you want to say?
We never had control.
Yeah,
To
that's
me,
it.
it's like you see a beautiful horse, arched neck, um, tail out, pointed ears, trembling, just wanting sidestepping, and somebody holding the reins, and this beautiful animal, and they're have hell like this, and he's going around in circles. And in Wyoming, we say, give him his head, let him have his head, give him his head. He wants to run. And to me, that's most human beings live like that. They have these tight reins, or a Ferrari, having the brake pedal pushed down on a Ferrari when that car just wants to rip
Yeah,
it.
yeah, beautiful, Michael, beautiful. And here I can only see the perfection when the brake is always on and not being able to boom out the way you can boom out. This is perfection already. Nothing wrong with this
What
because it is, because
a
it
live.
is. I lived for so many years like with this brake on.
Yeah, break
Believe
on.
me. And here is no sense that I ever missed something or that there was something. No, no, no. And but beautiful how you put it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Watch the movie Palm Springs about
Okay.
the
I have
freedom.
now a couple of movies I have to watch.
Yeah, this one is well worth it. May start a little bit funny, but if you watch
Palm
it,
Springs.
oh my God, it's the freedom of life. I tell a story of walking down the boardwalk by the ocean, and a black couple with a little baby. You may have heard this. He was black. And he had one little white tooth, two little white teeth on the bottom. And I looked at him as I was walking by, and he looked at me, and the mother stopped. So I'm looking at this baby with those eyes, with the mother's gaze, and he reaches his arms out to me. And you don't hold other people's babies. You just don't. I don't, I don't do that. And so he's holding his arms out, and I've never turned a hug down in my life. And I said, "May I hold him?" She said, "Of course you can." And I held him, and he put his head right here.
Oh.
And his name was Tony the Third. So I'm holding this baby, and the mother and dad are laughing, and the grandmother and grandfather behind them were crying. And I don't remember what I said. I think I said something about good job, guys, or so I don't remember what I said. But and then I disappeared because that moment would have been lost to me had I put the brakes on.
This is the melting part, sweetheart. This
Oh,
is the
this is the
melting part.
melting pot. Yeah.
This is so easy when you see the small child, like it happens very often here. I'm just grinning. It's unbelievable. So it's
Yeah.
so beautiful. This is that the directness, just the look, just the smile. Okay, yeah,
I
here.
see I see that in you. I see that in Klaus, the innocence of a little child. But it's better in a way because it's a full-blown adult. It's been to war. You've been to war. You've been on the front lines
Yeah.
fighting a good fight. You've been wounded. You've been heartbroken.
Oh yeah.
I more than a child. I love the child's innocence and the wet kisses from a baby and the smell of their head. Um, but I love adults too. Uh, I love the warriors. And they're all warriors. You're both a warrior. Um, how many times did you get up in the morning when you just didn't think you could? And oh God, the troubles that life brings, financial, emotional, all of those struggles.
Oh yeah.
Still here laughing and hugging and loving.
Oh,
Uh,
Michael, so beautiful. You're such a sweetheart, sweetheart.
Yeah,
uh,
I like the description. I like the description. We are wounded warriors. Yeah, it fits a lot. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
definitely.
can
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. And yeah, so beautiful, Michael. Yeah, I can directly like sense the similarity. Um, in whatsoever character, whatsoever there is the similarity, which is like Klaus expressed it. You feel automatically like, as if we knew each other for, I don't know, It's just there is this directness in the connection.
Uh, there is.
And yeah, yeah. Also with Klaus, but here I'm playing always like very open. But there
Mm,
is definitely
Yeah.
a preference. There would be a very, because I'm very straight. Closing up, if this is not matching, okay, okay, good. That's it. No pro. And but in a way, I'm in love with all the characters.
yes, yes.
I
I was
can't
on Tim.
help it.
Uh, I was in Tim Kliss's meeting and I started talking and my normal stuff. And some lady says, Michael, you're so full of bullshit. You say the same stuff over and over. And I laughed.
Yeah,
And
of course.
uh, I said, well, I'd like to hear your story. What you think? And Tim says, oh no, I don't think you'd like to hear her story. But then I thought, oh, it's so funny that she and so brave of her, to say calling people on their bullshit.
Isn't it, Michael? Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it
Yeah,
beautiful?
so
Yeah,
beautiful. The whole thing.
totally, totally. How,
I wish I could get a cowboy hat for you, and we'd walk into the cowboy bar after the rodeo,
yeah,
and the smell of beer and cigarettes and
yeah.
a band playing Stop the World and Let Me Off. That would be so. We used to go in after the rodeo with all of our boots and hats and
Oh
stuff.
my, I also had boots. I also had
Did you really?
boots.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, we forgot.
They're not the most comfortable thing in the world.
No,
Uh,
no.
but and nurses and teachers love cowboys. So we would have so much fun. But we would get so drunk. I don't remember most of what happened. I'm kind of glad I don't. But oh God, it was fun. I was young and wild and fearless.
And exactly, sweetheart, as beautiful
Super.
as you are now. And so, sweetheart, so the time's running
Time's
away.
out. Damn
And
it.
no, no, no. And I would simply say we stay in touch. And if
Oh, of
there is an
course.
impulse, maybe both of you will simply connect.
Oh, of course.
And
Yeah.
but for me, it's just yeah, as I said, I just love you and I cannot help it. And I love
Uh,
stories and we can go forever.
incredible. Yes. Let's
Okay,
uh let's do this sometime soon. It's been so fun. I love you both.
okay. I love you also. I love you more. And I wish you a beautiful night, Klaus, and enjoy the day, sweetheart Michael. We stay in touch.
Thank
Mwah.
you.
Klaus, thank
I
you.
love you.
Love to.
Bye-bye.